Hi, I'm Tana Overby, and I am going to go over the biochemical testing for microbial identification. The biochemical tests are basically for us to identify the different metabolic properties of different organisms that we find through these tests, and of things that we might not see otherwise. And I did them already because of my tremors right now. I accidentally spilled something, so I did make a new apron and started all over again. The first one that I did was the methyl red test on the E. coli and the Staphylococcus epidermidis. So the first one, the E. coli, I feel like it got a lot darker, more of a reddish tint to it. So that kind of showed that it was positive for the acidic fermentation. And that was just after I added in the drops of the red to the broth. And then second, I did the epidermidis. And that one, it was a little bit lighter, more like a light orange. I think I kind of blended it together at this point, but it's in my pictures. It was a little more yellowish orange, but definitely negative in comparison to the other one for the acidic fermentation. Then I went on to do the VP Vogus Proskauer test, and that one was a little different. I have to look at my picture now because I did mix it on accident because I shook it when I spilled one. But basically what it was is it was like this, but it had a red ring, reddish orange ring around the top of it. And that showed me it was positive for the acetoin. And then the other one, which was, this one is the epidermis. This one, it stayed exactly the same, so it was basically negative. It just stayed yellow. It didn't show me any of the acetoin at all. But the E. coli was real obvious because it almost looked like when you have vegetable oil and then it doesn't blend with the water, so it kind of sits on top, but it was a little bit darker. That one, when I added the reagent B. So that is on those two, and my catalase testing, when I took my sample and put it onto the slide, I did it once and then I did it again to put it on here, but basically my epidermidis, when I dropped on the peroxide, it just basically looked like water. You can kind of see it dripping there, but it just looked like clear. It didn't make any kind of bubbling. So I'm assuming that basically, I'm sorry, it was the E. coli one, that it did not show any bubbling on this one. And it was just kind of clear, and that showed there was no oxygenation there at all, so it was basically negative. With the epidermidis, that one, it actually did bubble up, and so I wanted to do that one on here again, just so I could show that it did work. That one. Let me get some out with my pipette. That one shows that it did bubble again, and you can't really see it too much on here, probably because I already did it one time, but it's on the pictures, it shows all the bubbles there, so that showed that there was oxygenation formed on there. So that's it for this one. Okay, thank you.